Hello everyone, this is Crypto BitLaw, here with your blockchain legal brief, and today we're going to discuss the issue of NFTs and copyright infringement. But before we dive in, please, if you enjoy this content, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And with that said, let's jump right on in. Okay, so I'd like to draw your attention here to this Blockworks article. It's titled FTX General Counsel, and according to him, NFT copyright infringement is our biggest issue. Legal answers to intellectual property questions surrounding NFTs are unclear. They say, as Web3 NFT spaces continue to grow, infrastructure is not expanding at the same rate, causing headaches for many attorneys in the space. The biggest issue that centralized NFT exchange FTX faces is making sure that users are only listing content that they actually own, Ryne Miller, the exchange's general counsel, said during a panel discussion at the Cornell Blockchain Conference in New York on Friday. Quote, "The right-click save thing is the issue," he said, referring to how people can copy another NFT, or non-fungible token, and mint it as their own. "Our biggest issue is making sure people don't list NFTs for which they don't own copyright, or whatever other intellectual property they need, and it's a very manual process. It takes a ton of effort and energy." A potential solution, Miller said, might be a community-driven, incentive-based moderating system where users could keep others in check, similar to OpenSea's current system of verified collections. The concept is not that different from what currently exists in the legal system, other panelists pointed out. Ultimately, what intellectual property is society recognizing that this thing is real, and this is not real, James Rathmell, general counsel at Juan Ventures, said. "I mean, it's a government-granted license for that, but ultimately, it's society agreeing on what things you own and what things you do not own. Consumers also have to be aware when interacting with these marketplaces," Miller said, "but consumer protection laws are going to come eventually, and platforms should be prepared." Quote, "Tell buyers to do their own research. That would solve the problem," he said. "Do your own research is a good solution, but you're going to have governments and consumer regulation folks step in before that. Some NFTs are designed to have utility, so while a copy may look the same, it will not be accepted by a smart contract tailored to the original. That opens up the possibility for authentication not available in other forms of digital art. The space is moving much faster than regulation," Rathmell agreed. "Web3 platforms and regulators need to have a mutual understanding of what risks they are trying to mitigate. Quote, they need to get that information out into the market so that everyone is on the same playing field," he said. All right, so what we can see here is just an acknowledgement and recognition from some of the main players in the NFT space. You know, FTX with their NFT market. I know Coinbase just opened up their own NFT market. And a lot of their general counsel and, compliance departments are in agreement that this is becoming an issue. People trying to mint NFTs for art or intellectual property that they don't actually own. So it's just like he said, if you do that whole right-click save thing and then you try to re-upload and re-mint a duplicate copy of an NFT that someone actually owns the intellectual property, they own that copyright for, then that would be an infringement. But the fact that it's on the blockchain, it's difficult to actually track down who is the infringer and would they be subject to the jurisdiction of the United States, for example, not to mention all the resources that it would take. One potential solution, in addition to the one that was proposed through the content moderation, the community-wide content moderation, would be this project. I know Microsoft, they had it was like an IP licensing sort of project. They called it like a DNA project, where it wasn't just hashing, it used computer learning, artificial intelligence, in order to analyze sets of data that were fed into it in the form of digital artwork, and then use that to automatically scan through art that was listed on the internet and then find similarities and then automatically flag that. So I would assume at some point there would be some sort of AI or deep learning or smart algorithm that would sweep through a lot of this content and then automatically flag duplicate content. But I could foresee a hybrid approach where you use a combination of community-driven moderation in conjunction with smart artificial intelligence in order to eke out any sort of infringement. But it's just good to know that this is on their radar, and it seems like it's only natural that people would try to infringe upon others' copyright in order to make a quick buck. So I thought it was interesting, and hopefully you guys learned something and take something from it. And with that said, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. And thanks again. We'll see you all in the next video.